Ramadan, for millions of people, it's this incredible month of spiritual focus and community. But it also means a huge shift in our daily routines. So, what actually happens when the sun goes down and we all try to get some sleep? Well, you might be surprised to find out that science has a lot to say about it. So, how does this massive change to our daily lives actually affect our sleep? The answer, it turns out, is not nearly as simple as you think. Not at all. In fact, it's kind of a scientific mystery. So, that mystery I was just talking about, well, it all kicks off with some really conflicting evidence. When scientists have looked into sleep during Ramadan, they've come up with some surprisingly contradictory results. Yep, you heard that right. Depending on which study you happen to pick up, Ramadan fasting is either absolutely terrible for your sleep, or it's actually a good thing. It's a total scientific head scratcher. So on one side, you have studies that paint a pretty rough picture. They use this tool called the Pittsburgh Sleep Quality Index, and they find that for a lot of people, sleep quality just tanks during Ramadan. They report more tossing and turning, and they just don't feel as rested in the morning. But then, just when you think you've got an answer, you find studies like this one reporting the complete opposite. Here, researchers found people actually felt less sleepy during the day and said their sleep quality improved even though they weren't actually sleeping any longer. So, what in the world is going on here? You've got one camp saying sleep gets worse, with all these negative effects, and the other camp is suggesting the exact opposite. As you can see, the data is it's all over the place, a complete contradiction. This brings us to the big question, right? How can both of these things be true? It really suggests there has to be something else going on here, a deeper mechanism that explains why different people have such wildly different experiences. And that missing piece of the puzzle, it's all about your body's internal clock. Seriously, understanding this one thing is the key to unlocking the whole mystery of sleep during Ramadan. Okay, so think of your body like this incredibly complex, finely tuned orchestra. Your circadian rhythm? That's the conductor. It's this 24-hour master clock that's telling every part of your body when to play its part, when to wake up, when to feel hungry, and when to get sleepy. And that conductor is listening for two main cues: light and, you guessed it, when you eat. On a normal day, this orchestra is playing in perfect harmony. The morning light hits, and that's the cue to start the music. Time to get up. Food during the day keeps the energy high. Then when it gets dark, the conductor signals for the sleep hormone, melatonin, and starts winding everything down. That long fast overnight, that's like the quiet intermission, where the body gets to rest and repair. Now this is where Ramadan really shakes things up. All of a sudden, you're eating before dawn and after sunset. So your body is getting these huge energy signals. Food! At the exact moments the orchestra is supposed to be quiet. It creates this total mismatch. It's kind of like giving yourself jet lag without ever getting on a plane. And this circadian confusion, it doesn't just make you feel a little groggy. No, it has real measurable effects, especially for people who really need to be on their A game, like students and athletes. Just how big of an impact are we talking about? Well, get this. In one study of students, a staggering 90.1% of them said their sleep was messed up during Ramadan. I mean, that's not just a few people, that is almost everybody. And here's the kicker. This isn't just about feeling tired. The research draws a direct line between these sleep problems and lower grades. When your sleep schedule is all out of whack, your brain's ability to learn and remember stuff can take a serious nosedive. And if you think that's bad, for athletes, the stakes are even higher. I mean, their entire performance is tied to how well they sleep. We're talking about things like balance and movement getting worse, recovery slowing way down. It can even increase the risk of getting injured. And for those athletes who are also trying to hold down another job, the sleep problem gets even more intense. Okay, so let's take a step back and put all the pieces together. We've seen the confusing studies, we've talked about the body clock, and we know the real-world impact. So what's the big takeaway here? Okay, here's the bottom line. It's not the fasting itself that's good or bad for your sleep. Not really. It all comes down to how your new lifestyle, your new schedule, lines up with your body's natural clock. It's not that you fast, it's how you fast. It's all about the timing. So what can you actually do about this? Well, the science points to a few key things. First, and this is a big one, you've got to protect your sleep. Really try to get the same total amount you normally would. Second, do your best to keep meal times as regular as you can, even within the fasting window. And finally, just recognize that sleep is every bit as important as food for recovery. Of course, trying to fit all this into a typical 9 to 5 workday, yeah, that's the real challenge, isn't it? So, when you boil it all down, the science is crystal clear. Timing is everything. And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. The real challenge isn't just if we fast, but how we can fast smarter. What if we could work with our body's natural rhythms instead of fighting against them? It's a powerful idea to consider not just during Ramadan, but all year long.